How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
Neither of them seemed comfortable talking about it. Okay, meanwhile, the weirdest story of the day comes courtesy of Bill Belichick. So Bill Belichick, the former coach of the New England Patriots, he has a new book out called The Art of Winning. And he was on CBS Mornings to talk about it. And things went wildly wrong. So Bill Belichick is 73 years old. His girlfriend is a lot younger. His girlfriend is a woman named Jordan Hudson. He's clearly in it because of her life experiences, brains, intelligence, wisdom, hard-earned life wisdom, not because she's a good-looking 24-year-old. He is in a relationship with it. Listen, they're consenting adults. I think it's a little weird, but there we have. I mean, I sort of understand the interest on both sides. I think we all understand the interest on both sides of this particular relationship. Well, she actually appeared on this CBS Sunday morning interview with Bill Belichick. She's sitting off to the side. It's super weird and creepy. She's sitting off to the side, supervising Bill Belichick, a man 5 decades her senior, doing an interview. He seems to be wearing a Navy shirt that he took off a homeless person. I don't know if they ever explained why he's wearing a shirt that actually has like full scale worn holes in it. She's also wearing a Navy shirt. So it's like one of the funniest things about this relationship is where she, a 24-year-old, treats him like he's a 24-year-old. He's wearing kind of like something that a bro would wear after coming back from the gym, except he's 74 years old and probably saw the FDR administration. And that's like an amazing thing. I kind of love. Anyway, so they're doing this interview and it gets super awkward because Belichick is asked about how they met. And she's like, we're not answering that question. And like, oh boy, I wonder who wears the pants in this relationship.
The other change for Belichick is 24-year-old Jordan Hudson, his creative muse, as he writes in his book.
Make sure that that's the
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
Without pants, apparently.
Jordan, right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on, though Hudson has recently posted about it on Instagram.
You joined InstaFace, as you put it. I love that. There's some great pictures of you and Jordan, where you're a fisherman and she's a mermaid. It's charming. It's a different side of you. What's the reaction been like?
What's it been like?
To have these different sort of photos. There's another one where you're doing, I know you're not into meditation or yoga or Pilates. You're balancing Jordan on your feet and she's doing kind of the Titanic pose.
Yeah, so I'm on some of those social media platforms, but I honestly don't follow them.
Yeah, he's just there, like an old man holding up a young woman with his feet. But he's not going to talk about that. My favorite is where she says, we're not talking about that. And then he's like, yeah, I'm not going to talk about it. It's like, neither of them seemed comfortable talking about it. Man, I wish that honestly, I'll bet a lot of the people who are in the Patriots locker room for years getting yelled at by Bill Belichick, they're like, where was Jordan Hudson when we needed her? Like over here to tell her man to stand down. My goodness. This is why when people say that, men have always had the power in human history. Have they though? I feel like some of the dynamics that are at play here have also been at play for pretty much all of human history, as it turns out. And so maybe women have always had a little bit of power in relationships with men. Maybe. I can't imagine what that power would be, giving a look at these photos. Again, probably the power of discussions of Greek philosophy, whereby she becomes his creative muse. And they're consenting adults, but then don't do interviews like that, man. Don't do that. I mean, you put yourself there. If I make fun of you for that, that's you. You're the one who decided to go on CBS Sunday morning and have your girlfriends. You know how many times my wife has sat there during an interview and told me not to answer questions? The answer is 0 times. 0 times has that ever happened. My wife, first of all, would not care less if I did an interview. And number 2, certainly would not be telling me what to say during an interview because, again, she could not care less. And also because that's what I do for a living. Like, that's just ridiculous. Okay. But I think that's a relationship geared for the long haul. Well, we'll see. Let's check in like 5 years and see where things are. Not everyone who handles your personal information is going to be as careful as you are. It only takes one mistake to expose all that information to hackers and identity theft. That's why there's a new victim of identity theft every 5 seconds in the United States. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. If your identity is stolen, a LifeLock US-based restoration specialist will help solve identity theft issues on your behalf, guaranteed, or your money back. Plus, all LifeLock plans are backed by a $1 million protection package, meaning LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. You cannot control how diligent others are with your personal information, but with LifeLock, you can help protect it. One of my producers, Jess, currently uses LifeLock. She's told me that she feels a lot better knowing that their experts are always monitoring her sensitive information for suspicious activity. Act right now. Save up to 40% your very first year. Call 1-800-LifeLock. Use promo code Ben or go to lifelock.com/Ben for 40% off. Terms apply. Okay, meanwhile, the left wing has been very, very bothered and hot over the arrest of a judge. That judge's name is Hannah Dugan. Hannah Dugan is a Wisconsin judge, and she was arrested for obstructing justice. By the way, she deserved it. Okay, this is the part that actually is hilarious. So here's Chuck Schumer, for example, suggesting a constitutional crisis has arrived because a judge in Wisconsin has been arrested by the FBI.
What Trump, Biondi, and the whole Justice Department are trying to do is push that judge, threaten that judge, so the judge is no longer impartial. It is outrageous in both cases. In both cases, you can't believe what they said. You know, in the case with the 2-year-old girl summit, they're saying, oh, the mother wanted to take her. Well, she's entitled to due process. The father says that's not true. And I don't believe ICE or anything they say because they've made up things so many times in the past. No. This is a constitutional crisis. You cannot have a democracy without an independent judiciary, and they're trying to clip the wings of that independence.
Okay, so that's actually not what happened here. So what exactly happened here? Well, there was a judge, and this judge had in her courtroom a person named Eduardo Flores Ruiz. He was a Mexican national, illegal immigrant, who was there for a hearing on battery charges. Before the hearing, a lawyer told Judge Dugan that ICE agents were waiting outside the courtroom in the public area, and they were going to arrest this guy and deport him. So Judge Dugan spoke with the federal agents and said they needed a judicial warrant and to speak with the chief judge of Milwaukee County. So they did. One of the officers went to the chief judge, who told the officer there was a policy in the works about where in the courthouse ICE agents could actually arrest people. Ashley told the agent hallways were areas where an arrest could be made. So this illegal immigrant, who has a rap sheet as long as your arm, was going to be deported as soon as he stepped out of the courtroom into the hallway. So the judge took this person, who was in fact an allegedly violent criminal, right, was there for an assault charge, and said, wait, come with me, and ushered this person through a door leading to a non-public area of the courthouse. Agents then saw Mr. Flores Ruiz and his lawyer, this is the New York Times, again, this is not like some right-wing publication, and his lawyer in a public hallway. One agent entered an elevator with them and watched them leave the building, but did not immediately make the arrest, the complaint said. Other agents then arrested him on the street after a foot chase. A week later, FBI agents came and arrested Judge Dugan at the courthouse, and she was charged with obstructing immigration officers and concealing someone to prevent an arrest, which, by the way, is the correct charge. Under 18 U.S. Code, Section 1505, it literally says, whoever impedes or endeavors to influence, obstruct, or impede the due and proper administration of the law under which any pending proceeding is being had before any department or agency of the United States, or the due and proper exercise of the power of inquiry under which any inquiry or investigation is being had by either house, shall be fined under this title, imprisoned not more than 5 years, or if the offense involves international or domestic terrorism, imprisoned not more than 8 years or both. So she tried to help an illegal immigrant escape from the Trump ICE department by taking him through a secret entrance, and they arrested her. As they should. Well, that's all for now, folks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts down below. Be sure to check out all of the other great content on my channel. I'll see you here next time.